All right, Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with my dad. Actually, John Rush is actually next to me today rather than behind the camera. We're trying a little bit of a different review today where we're kind of both going to give our opinion here of what we think of the 2016 Toyota Avalon. This is the hybrid model. It's a little bit different, obviously, with the engine. Same basic features as what you're going to find on a typical gas model, but just a few different kind of aspects to it, which we'll go through later on in the review. There's not a whole lot of changes from 2015 to 2016. The biggest change, honestly, the grille. They've redesigned that just a little bit. But actually, let's start with, I guess, the looks, and we're actually going to start with the overall appearance in our opinion of the car. So, Dad, what did you think of the 2016 Avalon Hybrid? I know this is actually a personal favorite for you.
This is one of my personal favorite cars. I think for the money, what you get, 40 plus miles to the gallon in this car. Actually, I averaged around 46 miles to the gallon in this car, which some are going to say, wow, that's really high. Well, I don't have a lead foot. This car works fantastic. I love the interior comforts of the car, the creature comforts, the room. We'll get into more of that as we get into the details of the car. I should say Richard will walk you through the rest of the car. But as you can see in some of the past reviews we've done on this car, I really love this car. Now, some of you are going to say, well, and we get this question a lot, do I buy this car or do I step up and buy a Lexus ES? You know, you're going to have to be the judge of that. In some cases, I know, for example, some people, depending upon the industry and what you do for a living, I know some people that can't drive a Lexus because it's a Lexus, and it makes it sound like they're super rich if they're driving a Lexus. So you know what? Driving a Toyota steps it down a little bit for them, yet you still get all the comforts that you would get in an ES. So you need to be the one to decide that. We can't do it for you. This is Toyota's largest sedan that they make, and it's really, really a comfortable car, and I feel a great value.
Absolutely. This car, as it sits right here, with the hybrid, again, 40 to 46 miles per gallon. This car's actually rated for 40. With my dad driving it, it's been about 46. And honestly, even with myself driving, it has a little bit more of a lead foot. I'm right at 41, 42, I believe. This car, as it sits, $43,000 for that low, or for the similarly equipped ES300H hybrid. You're about $50,000. So you're going to have to be the judge. Do I want to step up that $7,000 mark in order to get to the Lexus, or maybe for your type of use, the Toyota will work just fine? Again, one of our personal favorites. I'll actually give my opinion a little bit later in the review of what I think of this vehicle, but overall, really do enjoy it. With that being said, let's take a quick drive, or actually we'll take a quick walk around the car, then we'll take a quick drive, and then we'll come back and give you a view of the interior and then our opinion of the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. All right, fans, here's the walk around portion of the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. This is, we normally do take the driving portion right now, but wanted to show you around the car real quick. So with that, let's kind of come to the front. We'll show you what it looks like. New redesigned grille for 2016. That's the major change. They've also added an XLE Plus version to this, and they've actually taken out, like, I believe it's the Touring Plus. Don't quote me on that. But love the LED headlights on here, which is part of the limited trim package, and I will add that really, really quick, just because this is the limited. They obviously have the XLE, the XLE Plus, a lot of different trim levels and trim packages for you, and for those of you that are looking to again expand on this car, or de-expand, I should say, or if that's even a word. What some of the features that the Limited gives you, and I apologize for my cheat sheet, but there's a lot. The Limited gives you the Toyota Safety Sense package, which is the adaptive cruise, lane departure warning and assist, frontal collision warning, pre-collision braking, auto high beams, auto wipers. You also get tri-zone climate control, which we'll show you during the interior portion, upgraded leather, ventilated front seats, and rear power shade. We'll also, when we get back from the driving portion, show you the trunk, which is a little bit smaller than its non-hybrid brethren or sisters, however you want to say it. Overall, really did enjoy this car. Again, not a lot has changed from 2015, so this will be a shorter portion of the review. Let's take a quick drive. We'll come on back and show you the interior. All right, fans, we're here for the driving portion. 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. Going to show you a few of the interior features. It's a little bit easier from the back seat than it is from the front seat when we do the walk around. Similar N-Tune system you all are familiar with. This has not changed from last year's Avalon. Really like how they've done it. Touchscreen controls right here. Physical buttons on both of these. Very easy to operate. Won't get too much into that. The nice home screen, which is a very valuable asset in my opinion. Love what they've done here. You can change all of that. We won't get too much into there. One thing we do want to show you, with this being a hybrid, you can go to the eco monitor, or the energy monitor that they call it, which you can actually go to past trip information, see what your fuel economy is like, the past record, or you can go to the energy, which can also be displayed on the driving monitor here in the front center console, or I guess the driver's display. You could say this is fantastic. And actually, while we're doing it, we'll show you real quick the backup camera, which does have the dynamic grid lines on it. Very easy to use, very easy to operate for those of you that are familiar with it. Honestly, more my generation than my dad's generation, where they use more of the mirrors. We encourage you, make sure you use your mirrors and such, but it's very nice to be able to have this capability. But we do want to show you real quick as we get to pull out what that energy monitor looks like, so you know now the battery is doing. And actually, I'm going to enable EV mode. Well, that means it's basically going to use just the battery as long as it possibly can, as long as I stay below a certain speed. And once I exceed that certain speed, and actually before we get out here to turning, again, you can see, and then when I release the brake, you can see that it's starting to charge, uses the electric motor to charge the battery. This is a 200 horsepower combined motor, electric motor with the gas engine with it. And again, as we get up here, we're going about 15 right now. We're going to get to about 20. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 25 that it kicks in. And actually, I could be nope, there it is. So the vehicle exceeds the speed right about 25 miles per hour. It kicks into, it actually will kick on the gas engine. One thing I will say, this is a huge plus in our opinion. Toyota's hybrid system is absolutely fantastic, and it's so well designed. You don't even hardly know when it's on. This is coupled with a CVT transmission, but you can hardly tell. Very quiet on the interior with the engine and the switching over. You don't hear it. It doesn't sound like anything, which is a very, very nice feature. Last couple things. Large luxury sedan. You would expect quietness. You would expect not to hear much road noise, not much tire noise, and you don't. Toyota has done an excellent job on the Avalon with that. It's a very, very nice feature. We're going to wait for this person to go by before we turn around. And again, as we turn, absolutely fantastic in terms of that. Fuel economy we mentioned, and I'm going to mention it again because I think it's so important. Between 40 and 46 miles per gallon is what we've been able to average. 700 miles on one tank of gas for a hybrid vehicle is absolutely fantastic. That means you could go, for us, nearly to, I guess you could go to farther than Wichita, Kansas for us here in Denver, which would be absolutely fantastic. Really a breeze to drive. Definitely a car that you can drive many, 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 many miles and not be disappointed in that. So with that, let's head back. We'll go through the rest of the car, then we'll give you our opinion of the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. All right, fans, we're back from the driving portion. As always, we encourage you to get out yourselves, drive the car, see if it works for you and your family. We're here for the trunk portion. Want to show you it's a little bit smaller than its gas brethren. You can open it from the back. There's a little button. Not an automatic trunk by any means. The Lexus version of this, the ES300H, does have that option. This does not, but you can open it relatively easily. You'll notice this is 14 cubic feet of cargo room versus the 16 in its gas brethren, sister cars, however you want to say it. You lose a little bit, but again, for a hybrid vehicle, more than enough trunk space right here. Love the little cargo net, gives that added value. And I also like, again, this luxury SUV, or luxury SUV, this luxury sedan, large luxury sedan, covers up the metal bracing right here. Some nice plastic apportionments. Honestly, just a fan of that. It's the small things, in my opinion, that Toyota gives you. So with that, we'll kind of come to the back seat portion here. I'll actually slide in. Sorry about that. The wind's catching it a little bit here. Really nice apportionments. Again, on this limited trim level, you get some nice leather upgraded upholstery, which is really fantastic. Automatic windows back here. Nice simulated wood grain. You do not have any sunshades along the windows. You do have a rear power sunshade in the back, which we showed you during in the driving portion of it. I mentioned in the opening, very luxurious legroom. Absolutely fantastic here. More than enough of that. My dad just showed you, you do have your rear climate control, which is very, very nice. The ability to go to heat or cooled. Also heated seats here in the back seat. Actually had several passengers with me this past weekend, and they absolutely loved riding in this car. They were severely surprised at how much room was in the back of this, and they said, wow, this is an excellent, very luxurious car. And this is people who are familiar with the Lexus brand more so than the Toyota brand. So with that, we'll actually hop in the front seat and continue the review. All right, fans, we're here for the front seat portion. 2016 Toyota Avalon. Not a lot of changes, so we're just going to go a brief overview of this. We showed you the door already in the back seat. Not a lot of changes there. Very similar apportionment. Heated and ventilated front seats, which is part of that trim, or that limited trim level edition. Very comfortable leather seats, really fantastic. With the cruising range of 700 miles in this car, you would have no issues being able to do that and do so comfortably. Really nice apportionments, carrying the leather onto the dash here, even up to here. Very, very nice, soft touch in my opinion. I really like the layout, very easy to use. We showed you that in the driving portion. You have the QI wireless technology charging, deep enough to put keys, 2 phones, whatever you might need to right down in here. 2 cup holders, again, very nice leather apportionments right here. The console can move forward or back depending on how you like your armrest. Very nice and deep console. It's hard to show you with the light, so we do apologize about that, but you could fit, again, some different storage capacity in there. Do have adaptive cruise control that we mentioned, the lane keep assist, all this right here in the front section. Very honestly, very easy to use and operate. Last thing we'll show you before we hop out, this does have the sunroof right above, which lowers the headroom a little bit, but not a whole lot. Still plenty of headroom in the back seat, something that's honestly nice to note and something that Toyota definitely has thought about. So with that, let's actually hop out. We'll both, my dad and I, will give you our opinion of the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. All right, fans, here's our opinion of the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. My dad kind of gave his brief opinion overall in the first portion, but Dad, why don't you kind of elaborate on what you think of, again, the 2016 Toyota Avalon Hybrid?
The Avalon, ever since they've done the kind of the more modern redesign of the Avalon that Toyota did several years ago, one of my personal favorites. It's just a great car, great value, full size. You know, you're stepping up above the Camry. You're not spending that much more money than you would if you got a Camry with all of the bells and whistles. You step up and spend another 5-6 grand, get an Avalon. I personally think you just get that much more car for the money. To me, this is a home run. The only thing you might want to think, and for me even personally, would be, do I want to step up and add a little bit more dollars and buy a Lexus? You're going to have to be the judge of that. Frankly, you're getting really everything Lexus has to offer in the Toyota. They're both made by the same company when it's all said and done. The same parent company, Toyota versus Lexus. You know what? This car's a home run for me.
It's definitely hard to beat you with a lot of the luxury features that you get on the interior of this car, the heated ventilated front seats, the dual climate control, the luxurious legroom in the back, and by luxurious I mean luxurious. This is what Toyota classifies as their large luxury sedan. Again, it's the largest sedan that you can actually buy from Toyota. Just absolutely fantastic. A personal favorite of ours. The fuel economy is great. The ride quality is great. It's a little bit stiffer and firmer than in past Avalons, so for those of you that are actually looking at maybe switching over into the 2016 model for a new Avalon, something you're going to have to get used to a little bit. But overall, this car is just absolutely a fantastic buy. You get a lot of car for the money, and that's one thing that here at Drive Radio we're really, really big on, is maximizing your value. You're going to get a car that's going to go nearly 700 miles. I'm going to repeat that. 700 miles for a sedan on 1 tank of fuel, just over $40,000. And even if you step down in trim level, you can get this car with the hybrid for right underneath $40,000, which is a heck of a buy in our opinion. So if you want to learn more about this car, head to your local Toyota dealer and tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.